Welcome everyone to another episode of How to Make Money in Stocks with Investors Business Daily. On the show many times we've mentioned the monthly mutual fund reports. We also have ETF monthly updates, and we just did one this week, and you'll find that under the ETFs and funds tab on investors.com.
Now, Matt, I'm going to be at the Las Vegas Money Show the week of May the 10th, and we have an exciting new product that we're going to be rolling out, so be sure to come and see me if you're in the Vegas area.
Right, and this week we're going to talk about how to get ready for earnings season with an action plan, and also talk about a new column that just came out in IBD called the Investing Action Plan. I also want to note that I'll be out this weekend, so Amy is going to take a look at the market.
Global stocks rallied this week after China exports jumped the most in a year. This alleviated fears of a global economic slowdown. Investors also cheered a potential deal with Russia and Saudi Arabia agreeing to an oil output freeze. But those hopes got some cold water after reports surfaced that Iran may not participate in the oil meetings. Analysts also think that the weekend meeting will do little to clear the global oversupply of crude. The Nasdaq was higher for the week and is holding up nicely above the 200-day moving average. The market has been higher the last 7 out of 10 weeks. The S&P is also solidly above the 200-day line. Now we have 4 distribution days on the Nasdaq and we have 4 on the S&P. It's a busy week for some major names starting next week. Companies that are due to report their quarterly reports include Hasbro, Morgan Stanley, and Netflix on Monday. Tuesday is Goldman Sachs. Wednesday, Mattel reports. Thursday brings Alaska Air, Under Armour, and Alphabet. And Friday, fast food giant McDonald's will release their numbers. Be sure to check out the full earnings list in the Monday edition of IBD. So we all do better with a plan, whether it's, for dieting, for work, for exercise, really anything that you do in life. It's easier if you have a plan, and the same is true for investing. So today we're going to talk about planning your trades and then trading your plan. So we want to focus on earnings season and having an action plan.
Right, so we're going to break it down into basically 3 parts. And the first is you want to make a plan for stocks that you already own that are about to report. And then next, you want to build your watch list by finding stocks that are setting up in a base and or near or in a buy zone ahead of their reports. And then you want to make a potential trading plan for the stocks that are on your watch list.
Now, for the stocks that are in your portfolio, you certainly want to know when they're due to report their earnings, and then you can adjust your plan depending on how much of a profit cushion you're sitting on. Now, if you've owned Facebook, lucky you, if you've owned it and held it since July 2013, you are now sitting on a 326% profit. So you're in a very different situation than someone who just bought more recently and probably doesn't have much of a gain at all.
That's right. Now, so for example, if you bought on Facebook's breakout in October and held through this pullback, you'd have a gain of around 15% as of Thursday when we're recording this. But if you use this move in late January to establish a position, you'd be essentially flat. So you need to decide if you're willing to take a sudden loss if Facebook fails to report well and sinks. But at least at a minimum, you want to set a sell price that you can live with so you get out if that does happen.
Now, number 1, have a plan for stocks that you own. Number 2, you want to find stocks that are near a buy point that are about to report. This, Matt, this is the exciting part because every earnings season,
4 times a year.
4 times a year, stocks offer opportunities for investors. So be prepared for this. And if you're prepared, you can make some money. Be sure to keep track of stocks that are due to report. Now, we have this list in the Monday edition of the paper every week, and you can find information on stocks that are due to report on investors.com in the all-new Investing Action Plan section.
Right, which is what we're going to talk about in the next segment today. Now, you can also check the IBD 50, Stock Spotlight, Sector Leaders, and other screens to see which leading stocks are forming bases right now, and then find out when they report. And you can get that information, you can get the reporting date on the quotes page on investors.com. So let's use Facebook again as an example. So here's the daily chart. The social media giant is on the IBD 50. It's forming a base, and it's set to report Q1 numbers on April 27th. So this may be one that you want to add to your watch list.
Now, it's a big month for earnings. We have some notable names reporting. In addition to Facebook, we have Apple, Alphabet, Netflix, Mattel, and McDonald's. These are just a few of the names that are due to report their quarterly numbers. And one key thing to remember here, don't buy right ahead of these earnings reports.
Yeah, Amazon is another stock that is just within buy range ahead of earnings. Again, this is on Thursday when we're recording it. And the company has not yet set a specific date, but it's expected to report later this month. Now, it cleared this cup with handle buy point earlier this month, and on Thursday was trading about 3% above that entry. Now, as Amy just said, it can be very risky to buy stocks just before they report because it doesn't give you time to build a nice profit cushion to sit through a possible big change after earnings.
That's right. Now, the third key point is to plan your trade and trade your plan. Alphabet is setting up in a cup with handle base with a buy point of 777.41. Write your plan down. Actually write it down. Have it right in front of you. Be completely prepared at the beginning of the trading week. Make your plan over the weekend so that you are fully prepared for the week ahead. Now, Alphabet reports April 21st.
Right, you really want to be very specific about your plan for each stock. What's the buy point? What is the buying range, which is typically up to 5% above the buy point? How many shares will you buy if it does break out? And if it gaps up, as often happens, will you still buy it? How big of a gap up would you still buy into? You want to think about those things ahead of time. And again, doing that ahead of time makes sure that you're ready to act when you need to.
That's right, that's right. Planning ahead really takes the emotion out of trading. You know what you're going to do and how you're going to execute. And you should have the exact dollar amount specified with that you're going to trade with also. So have your plan and then trade your plan.
How would you like an edge that helps you pick winning stocks faster? An edge that is proven to outperform the S&P 500 by 76% since inception, and that you can take advantage of today without spending a dime. More on that in a minute. Each day, our top market team at Investors Business Daily scans our proprietary stock lists and screens to find superior stocks with the most potential for big gains. They analyze these stocks every step of the way to show you bases, buy points, sell signals, and the right time to take profits. It's about as close to hold your hand investing as you can get. Introducing Leaderboard by Investors Business Daily. For a limited time, you can try all of the premium features Leaderboard has to offer for a full 14 days at absolutely no cost to you. You'll receive unlimited access to all of the time-saving research, powerful investing tools, the leaders list, cut list, and expert analysis you need to develop a winning investing strategy. And it's all 100% free for your first 14 days.
So we've recently launched a new column called the Investing Action Plan that helps you get ready for the week ahead. So today we're going to walk through that and then also learn more about how to get the most out of it.
Now this is something new in IBD and it's going to help you for the coming week so you can really prepare for the week ahead. You'll have an action plan of companies due to report as well as an important economic announcements that might be on there if the Fed is going to speak, if there's FOMC minutes or something like that, as well as earnings dates.
We also want to note what we mentioned in the webinar that we did, which, by the way, you can see on our website. Now, the action plan will be on the front page of the new IBD Weekly, which starts on May 2nd, and it will be updated each day before the market open on investors.com.
So this will give you a weekly action plan as well as a daily one. And hopefully this is going to be a really great time saver for investors. All the important information is going to be in one easy to use place. Now, last week's Investing Action Plan included information on a Facebook conference. It also talked about earnings for the week, stocks to watch that may be setting up for potential breakouts.
Right, so you can just scan the article to see who's reporting, and this last week it was the big banks who were on deck, so you knew to keep an eye on those. And the article mentioned what to look for with companies like JP Morgan, B of A, and others. And in the stocks to watch area, it mentioned a few stocks that were potentially setting up.
Now, Amazon, Facebook, and Southwest were mentioned in this article at the time it was published, and all of them at that time were setting up for potential breakouts. That is a quick and easy list, just 3 stocks to watch for the coming week. There was also a link to read more about Amazon's health and how it's stacked up in IBD's stock checkup.
Now, the Investing Action Plan article also highlights upcoming economic reports, as Amy mentioned, and other potentially market-moving events like the F8 Facebook conference that you mentioned earlier. Could also be the Fed's Beige Book report that features the latest retail numbers and even results for Taking Stock with Teens, which was a survey that Piper Jaffray did, and it just reported those results last week.
Hey, I like that Piper Jaffray and that thing that teens are buying.
It's very interesting.
Did you see that Ulta Salon is a place that teens like to go to, Ulta Salon?
Yes, and we have articles on that too, because it does mention like how popular the iPhone is and other things with different teenage people.
Absolutely. So to read the latest action plan, go to our website at investors.com/investingshow.
And very soon you'll be able to find a link to the Investing Action Plan under the Research tab on investors.com, and also go directly to it at investors.com/actionplan.
If you have not seen the webinar that Matt and I did about how to use the new investors.com as well as the new weekly edition of the paper, you can see it on our website.
Right, you'll find that along with notes for this week's episode at investors.com/investingshow.
Okay, see you next week, everybody.